Hey gang, so we're talking about different ways that we can create trails in footage that we have of prop spinning. In the last video, we covered Luminancer, an app for iOS. In this video, we're going to cover some plugins for editing software. If you're editing with either Adobe Premiere or Final Cut Pro, the good news is that both of these programs come with a plugin that'll produce trails for you. In Adobe Premiere, this plugin is called Echo, and in Final Cut, it's called Trails, appropriately enough. Final Cut happens to be the program that I use most often, so I'll go ahead and show you guys how to use this plugin through it. Okay, now first things first, you're going to want to import your footage into the Final Cut event library, and then go ahead and create a project for it. Now, I'm not going to go too much in depth on how to use the particular programs that I'm demonstrating in this video, mainly because there's already a whole lot of tutorials out there on how to use these programs, so if I'm doing anything you don't understand, go and look up one of those tutorials on YouTube. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab a small snippet, say, 5 seconds or so of my video, and drag it on down here into the event project window. And the effect that we want is going to be over here in the effects window. It will be among all the video effects. Unfortunately, everything here is listed in alphabetical order, so it is fairly easy to find. We're just looking for trails right here. So I'm going to click on this effect, and I'm going to drag it over on top of my footage. Yeah. Now I want to go ahead and find a spot in the footage to see how the trails are coming out and everything, which, as you can see, the kind of default setting for this and everything isn't too terribly bad. I personally like to have a little bit more in the way of echoes on my trails. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to up the number of them to about 20 here. And then I'm going to move duration up a little bit more. And to be perfectly honest with you, this is not like a science so much as black magic, where you try and figure out what the exact settings you want to dial in are and everything. But essentially now I'm in this position where I've got a whole bunch of echoes and everything, and now I have to just wait for this footage to finish rendering to see what it is going to finally wind up looking like. And I actually think I'm going to add just a little bit more to the durations here because nope, I'm wrong. Let's go back. Let's go back. There we go. That's what I was looking for, just to fill in that last hole. Cool. So my settings here are 20 echoes and 0.32 on duration. Echoes are just the number of echoes that are produced by the footage and everything, and duration is how long they stick around for, how long before they kind of disappear and everything. So rendering this is actually kind of a time-intensive process, so I am just going to go ahead and skip forward to when the rendering is done so you can see what the results look like. Cool, so our video is done rendering. Let's see how it came out then, shall we? Beautiful, not bad at all. So as you can see, we basically have a version of what Luminancer does, except that we have a little bit more control over how those trails ultimately appear. As we were waiting for the video to render, I went ahead and took the liberty and tried to do the same thing with some daytime footage. Now, the interesting thing about this plugin is that it works by analyzing light, just like Luminancer does. So unfortunately, when you're using daytime footage, you're going to run into the small problem that there's just as much light being reflected off your body as there are off of your poi. So this, once again, is a great method for getting trails with LED or fire poi. It is not as good for daytime stuff. It's better than Luminancer for daytime stuff, but that's still not saying a whole lot. Unlike Luminancer, we do have control now over how long these trails are. But like Luminancer, it's an effect that works best with LED or fire poi. So if you try and use this effect on daytime spinning, while you'll see trails on your props, you'll also see trails coming off of your body in various different ways. Now, it could be you don't care one way or another about that, but I happen to. In our next video, we're going to move on to using Adobe After Effects, which is an incredibly powerful piece of software for post-production. Thank you for watching and enjoy the flow. Peace. Hey guys, so this series exists for one reason and one reason only, and that is the amazing support of my backers on Patreon. They have been allowing me to tackle more ambitious topics like this one and to create long series rather than just having to do one-off videos. And it's been totally awesome. So if you're getting anything out of these series, then please hop on over to patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi and sign up to support them. You can sign up for as little as $1 a month, and that little bit of support helps so much in being able to create these pieces of knowledge to put out there to the wider flow arts community. So for those of you guys already on Patreon, thank you so much for enabling me to do this work. And for those of you guys out there watching, thank you for tuning in as well.